The De'Longhi Eletta Explore and the De'Longhi Rivelia are two of the best super automatic coffee makers you can get right now. If you want to learn about their differences, the pros and cons of each model, and discover all their secrets, don't miss this video. As you can see, one of the first things that stands out is that both models look quite different at first glance. The Eletta Explore looks noticeably larger and has a clean straight-line design, while the Rivelia is more compact, with a style that feels more like a classic coffee maker, and it stands out with its rounded bean container on top. However, as you can see in this chart, the actual difference in size isn't as big as it might seem. That's because, even though the Rivelia's main body is smaller, its water and coffee bean tanks stick out a bit, making the overall dimensions quite close to those of the Eletta Explore. A more significant difference is in the capacity of the tanks. That might sound like a small detail, but in everyday use, it really makes a difference. It's nice not to have to refill your coffee maker so often. So in terms of design, I'd say the Rivelia is more eye-catching and looks more compact. But in terms of practicality, the Eletta Explore wins because it has larger tanks. Another thing that immediately stands out is the color display on both models. And here we should say, they're almost identical. As you can see, the drink icons are the same. The drink customization menus are also the same. The animations that appear while your drink is being prepared are identical as well. And the general settings menu looks the same too. The only small difference is in the user profile icons. On the Rivelia they look a bit nicer and more polished than on the Eletta Explore, but functionally they do exactly the same thing. If we want to get picky, it's true that the Eletta's front-facing screen makes it slightly more comfortable to use than the flat-angled screen on the Rivelia. But honestly, as I mentioned, the difference is minimal. Now let's talk about what's probably the most important part of these coffee makers: how they actually brew coffee. De'Longhi promotes the Eletta Explore as the model that can prepare the most recipes, up to 50 drinks, compared to 16 on the Rivelia. But we should clarify that the difference isn't as big as it sounds, because the Eletta's total includes cold and to-go drink versions. If we only count the base recipes, both the Eletta and the Rivelia can make pretty much the same drinks. Where the Eletta Explore does clearly win is with iced drinks. It can prepare cold brew-style beverages, meaning it infuses the coffee in cold water for a more aromatic and intense iced coffee. Plus, the Eletta includes the LatteCrema Cool system as standard, so you can prepare drinks with cold milk. You can also use it with the Rivelia, but in that case you have to buy it as a separate accessory. However, when it comes to brewing regular coffee, the Rivelia has a big advantage: its interchangeable bean container. This makes it super easy to switch between regular and decaf coffee beans. That means the Rivelia can brew decaf coffee that tastes much better, since it's made with freshly ground beans. To make decaf in the Eletta Explore, you'll have to use the ground coffee function, which works well, but doesn't quite match the freshness you get with the Rivelia. The Rivelia also includes that same ground coffee option, which you can use with caffeinated coffee too, handy if you ever run out of beans. And speaking of that, we also really like this small storage compartment on the Rivelia for the ground coffee scoop and hot water spout. It may seem like a minor thing, but it's actually super practical. It keeps everything tidy and easy to find. So when it comes to coffee preparation, the main difference is that the Eletta Explore offers more options for iced coffee, while the Rivelia is better suited for making decaf. Another interesting feature both models share is the Bean Adapt system, an automatic setup that adjusts the machine to get the best flavor out of any coffee bean. The system itself is the same, but there's a small difference in how you access it. On the Rivelia, you can adjust Bean Adapt settings directly from the screen, as you can see here, while on the Eletta Explore you need to install the De'Longhi app on your smartphone and link it to the machine. I imagine De'Longhi does this to encourage people to use their app more, but honestly, it's a bit less convenient for users. And speaking of the app, that's another major difference between these two coffee makers, because the app is only available for the Eletta Explore. The most interesting feature of the app is probably that it lets you prepare drinks remotely. I'm not sure how practical that really is, but it's definitely fun. You can also use the app to adjust personal profiles, choose your favorite drinks, or access a recipe guide. And you're probably wondering about the price. You can find out by checking the links in the description and comments below. Finally, here's a summary chart showing the main differences between both coffee makers. We think you'll find it useful. So which one would you choose? Tell us in the comments, and check out what other users think too. And if you want to learn more about these coffee makers, don't miss the videos coming up next. See you next time.